What banks need to know most about the payments landscape today is the amount of disruption that's happening in it now. And that's concerning because few banks, particularly community-sized banks, have a enterprise payment strategy. In fact, American Banker said fewer than 13% have an enterprise-wide payment strategy. 68% of the consumers are already using fintech services. 50% have already transferred money through fintechs, and another 68% say they will in the next year. I used to think that it was the bank's game to lose, that our position was one of trust and that the fintechs would never overcome that. But my concern now is that we are actually losing the game, and we're late in the third quarter, and we need to take action now, or we will be disenfranchised from our customers' relationships. The technologies that the banks ought to be looking into today relate to Alexa, Google Home, your security system that talks to you and you can arm while you're away, smart cars that are connected to the internet allow you to shop as you drive, or at least the person riding with you shop as you drive. These devices are going to essentially make banks invisible so that people who make transactions without really caring how they happen, just wanting them to happen, they don't understand how they happen, and they never will because they don't need to. Those people will not care who's carrying that. There will be no brand loyalty there unless the bank can use that channel to add value. There are a number of strategies that banks can take to keep themselves at the top of the wallet or to achieve top of wallet status. I think one of them, and the most important, is to get an enterprise-wide payment strategy. It's a little hard to execute on a plan if you don't have a strategy to wrap around it. Second is the debit card. There's a lot more we could do to embed debit cards into the purchase process. For instance, embedding your card in Amazon, and then when the customer buys using the debit card, giving them a balance or their last 5 transactions, the things that they feed on. The last thing is contactless cards. They're relatively new, but they've been around Europe for years. They are truly more convenient than inserting and swiping a card. They're more convenient than mobile wallets. There is no reason why, if you're a bank, you should not adopt that technology today. Otherwise, I think your consumers will go to banks that do for the convenience. The players that will be on the landscape in the future could be the largest banks and several large technology companies. If we don't today take the actions we need to add value to transactions that customers don't see coming to us but use our cards to make them, then the larger banks will, and they will take over that landscape. On the small business side, that's happening already with fintechs, who also could play a role. Fintech loans to small businesses, accounts payable, a number of those things are very lucrative services that banks have ceded to those fintechs and miss the opportunity to gain a relationship and the fees that are associated with it. The greatest threat to traditional banks on the payment landscape today are the innovators that we don't know about yet. I mean, we can see a lot of people around us that are a threat. Amazon is probably one of the greatest, but it's really the ones that we don't know yet. And the speed of change today is happening at multiples like we've never seen before. So we can expect that person or that company to show up in the not too distant future. But we're nearsighted, so we only look at what's around us today, and that could cost us in the long run.